I think as we gear up for this, one thing I like is all kind of the scouts and all the people in that world that I follow on social or whatever are talking about players to watch this week and, you know, what guy could have a big week to really boost their stock. There's going to be somebody that is off the radar that emerges as a top 20 pick.
They always do.
Um,
like Mike Mamula.
I knew you were going to bring him up. I didn't even say it. One position, one really interesting. I'll be fascinated with the running backs in this draft because obviously Genty is the stud, but you get down further than that, and this kid Hampton out of Carolina. Have you watched him at all? Did you see any Tar Heel games?
No Tar Heel games.
He can play, dude, and I think there's just a lot of excitement for what all these guys become, and just kind of playing it out. More and more, I wonder if Stafford is really on the move and what that does, because you've got, if you're the Giants, Brian, how desperate is Joe Shane and Brian Daboll to make a big move that could probably save their job?
Scale of 1 to 10, 19 and a half.
Yeah, 30. And, dude, if you have to give up number 3 and you work out a new contract for Stafford, isn't that worth it? Aren't all parties happy? And then
they're all happy, but I can tell you one thing: they better not make that move for Stafford and something come up wrong with him. Because the mere fact that Sean's ready to let him go, you start wondering.
Yeah, unless it's just a money thing and he wants some big time guarantees. I don't know, but that situation is starting to seem smoky. Generally, where there's smoke, there's fire. I don't know, but it just, the more I look at that, the more I think it is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
How about this one as we gear up for Indy? Stephen Jones is Jerry Jones's son, right? They run the Cowboys
into the ground.
Stephen Jones on the record. I think one of our goals is to get a young quarterback in the draft. I don't know where that's going to be. That's why we have a 4th round pick for Trey. Seems like all the quarterbacks, even guys we have in the 4th round, go in the 1st. They always go much higher than what you think. Is that a little Dion talk?
Possibly.
Dallas picks 12th.
12th overall.
Dallas picks 12th overall. There's already, and dude, I bet this week will be nuts with the rumors about Shadeur and Dion and blah, blah, blah. But Dallas picks 12th. I think it's relatively reasonable to believe Shadeur could be there at 12.
Yeah.
Like,
I would ask this question, though.
And you know what? Dak's got no guaranteed money on his deal starting next year.
I thought he just signed a deal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying straight guarantees. This year, Dak is guaranteed $48 million this year. His cap number for this season is $90 million. Okay, that is 30% of the Cowboys.
What is it for next year?
Next year, no guarantees. The cap number drops to 23%, about $68 million. But if you were to do a post June 1 cut, you'd end up on the right side of the dead money salary cap savings. You'd take a $28 million cap hit, but you would also save $40 million in cap space.
Mm.
That's interesting. Now, the problem with Jerry and Stephen Jones is you just never know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like certain people, like when your normal behavior is erratic, it's hard to have a baseline for what is believable.
Well, that's what they're doing. They're trying to do like that, show a poker face. They act a certain way all the time, then you can't figure them out when they decide, now I'm doing something for real.
Landfill, that's a very good text that I won't read on the air. But congrats, B. People are making their own BMitch dolls.
I told y'all a long time ago. Dude ain't right. That's all I'm saying.
But seriously, I think there's going to be a lot of interesting stuff this week. But one thing I wonder if Dion will be there. Probably, right?
He might. We want to try to get people ready to start playing some football for him in Colorado this year.
It's true. I don't know what their workout schedules are.
Listen, Shadeur has a team around him. And believe me, all you have to do, FaceTime and whatever else, Dion can be right involved with everything.
So I thought this was pretty interesting. Now, Rap Sheet caught some grief for this. Tell me what you hear here, B. Ian Rappaport tweeted out, I think this is yesterday afternoon, right? Today's the 24th? Yeah, this is yesterday afternoon. Colorado quarterback and potential top pick Shadeur Sanders plans to focus on his interviews with teams at the NFL Scouting Combine, helping them continue to learn him as a person. He'll allow his 4 years of film to speak loudly, then throw at his Pro Bowl with 4 draftable Colorado wide receivers.
At his pro day.
Pro day, yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He's going to the camp. He's going to talk to people. Then he's going to go to Colorado where they control everything, which every quarterback seems to do.
Yeah, dude. So Rap Sheet caught a bunch of grief for that tweet being overly. The way the game works is that it was probably an agent that provided him that information, and then it was pretty one-sided in support of Shadeur. I just think who expected Shadeur to work out at the Combine? None of these guys do.
But the mere fact that it's
just changed.
I just think that sometimes people, they push stuff too much. He basically gave you information. He's going to go to the camp. He's going to interview. And he's not going to work out until he goes back to Colorado on pro day. I don't know if it's one-sided or not. It's just giving you information of what we all expect anyway. So for him to take heat, what is it? The people that didn't get the same information, they mad? You should have known that. You should have assumed it.
I don't know why anybody is surprised by that.
What about that
I can't
makes people
imagine
upset?
Travis Hunter, Cam Ward, Abdul Carter, like any of these.
Yes.
If you are
they've been doing that since the combine started. The top guys don't work out.
If you're a top 10, Mason Graham, I bet a lot of these receivers, I mean, that's just how it is now, dude. And maybe like the NFL has a problem because they've made this television product. Players don't care. And you know what else? The draft psychos that love watching the Combine, they can't wait to see Isaiah Bond run the 40.
Until the guys get drafted, they are not necessarily a part of the NFL. Think about it.
Right, that's true.
So they are still people trying to get a job. And if they have the upper hand because you want their services, I'm going to put myself in the best position possible to do my best. Because when you go to the Combine, everything is just put together by this group and put everybody do the same stuff. What if I can do something to make myself stand out a little bit more when I'm in my own pro day? From Johnny Manziel to wearing the whole damn outfit.
That was awesome.
All that stuff. You figure out a way to get yourself there.
This is interesting. This kid, Jack Beck, I thought he was a tight end. They have him listed as a wideout.
Jack who?
He played at TCU. He's probably a Friday night pick is my guess. My guy Restrepo might make it to Saturday. But I read something just based on ratings and you can measure interest in lots of different metrics. If it was its own sport, where do you think the NFL draft would rank as far as interest level in the United States?
If it was its own sport?
Its own sport.
As high as the football games?
It would. If it was its own sport, the NFL draft would be the second biggest sport in the
It'd be
country.
right after college. I mean, after
It'd be
NFL football.
NFL draft and college football.
Because the thing of it is, what's coming and what's the future is always as big as what is. You know, I see people getting into arguments about what's going to happen after the draft and what my players going to